Oh man, I was just stuck watching my own intro video. It's a work in progress, but it's a start. But as you can see from the title, free agency has continued. Today was day two of free agency, and it wasn't as busy as day one, but there was still some noteworthy things going on. Two trades come to mind immediately, and then some signings are taking place right now. So the PFF has this whole grade system, and the grade system basically works out where they took all the players and they did it in chronological order. Okay, so they didn't say alphabetical order; they said chronological order. So I'm not sure what is chronological order. I think what they mean is best to worst potentially, but maybe we'll find out as we go in. So it starts off with Danielle Hunter signing with the Houston Texans. That is the edge that was coming from Minnesota. So in 2023, his PFF grade was a 78, 28th out of 112. In 2023, he was 18th. Okay, so let me give you the categories first that they break it down. So they break it down with his PFF grade. So that's basically positional grade. Is he the seventh of 100 receivers? Whatever. That is going to be your PFF grade. Then you get your fit need grade. So, like, let's say Denver has a need at wide receiver and we brought Calvin Ridley. That would be an A because it's a need that we needed to address. So that's another one of the ways that it's graded. And then value. So it could be a really expensive player that took a pay cut. That would be a good grade. Overpaying for a bad quarterback. That would be a bad grade. Russell Wilson would probably fit the A plus on the value. Okay, then it gives me the contract and the PFF projected contract. So it'll give me what was projected and what they actually got paid, and then we can look at those numbers too. We got Bill in the chat. Bill said, looks like we're Drew Lock twinsies now. Oh man, I really, all jokes aside, I don't think you guys know how good Drew Lock can be. I know it sounds crazy, but I would take Drew Lock over Daniel Jones, and I was not that low on Daniel Jones. Drew Lock is Jay Cutler. He just needed more time. I'm telling you, Drew Lock is gonna work his way up the depth chart, and I'm excited to see what Dabble can do, or Dable. But I'm not saying he's definitely the starter. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if he does get the job. Okay. So Daniel Hunter, that's the first one. PFF grade was 78. So 28th out of 112. Fit in need, A plus. So the Houston Texans needed an edge, A plus as high as it can be. Value grade, B plus. So the PFF projected contract was a 3-year, $67.5 million contract with $47.5 million in total guaranteed. The contract he actually got was $49 million. So he was projected a 3-year $67 million, and he signed a 2-year $49 million. So I mean, Houston made a splash in free agency with a monster 2-year pact for a veteran edge rusher to pair with a reigning defensive rookie of the year, Will Anderson Jr. The 2-year term is quite perfect as it lines up with the 2 years before Houston may have to reset the quarterback market with an extension for CJ Stroud. This is making a ton of sense. Hunter, Anderson, and fellow free agent addition Denico Autry will be a force up front for DeMeco Ryans' defense. Congratulations to the Houston Texans. I'm not being funny. Like Danielle Hunter, Daniele, I think it's Danielle. He was, I think, number 3 on best available free agents. And the Houston Texans are a young and upcoming team, and they're able to add this youth while keeping in mind the long-term plans with CJ Stroud and the future payday that's coming up, but you're not putting yourself in a bad situation. Like, this is the kind of stuff that happens before the Texans go to a Super Bowl. I just don't feel like with how good CJ Stroud is that a Super Bowl is unrealistic in the near future. I'm still not going to pick them to be my Super Bowl favorite, but they're going to be like, okay, I need a dark horse Super Bowl like winner. I might ride I might ride with the Texans. We'll see how many more weapons they add. What are they going to do in the draft? I mean, if they even have, they won't, because they don't have a first round pick because they moved up. But I don't believe they have a first round draft pick. But if they can even, with this move, get a couple more moves, the Texans might be in really, really good shape for the future. And Bill said, good for the Texans. He was the top guy. I thought, yeah, no, he was way up there on the list. So he signs a 2-year, $49 million deal, and 48 of that million is guaranteed. All right, next up, we have linebacker Willie Gay signing with the New Orleans Saints. 2023 PFF grade, he was 55.9, which was 72nd out of 82 linebackers. That's pretty bad. I mean, it's really good. There's only 72 people in the world that are better than you, which is pretty one percentile of one percentile. But just talking about football, that's not that great. I mean, you're barely startable. There's only 10 people worse than you. That's the real way to look at it. In 2023 PFF WAR. Now, I don't know what WAR is, but it says 80th. I'm going to see if does it give me any kind of breakdown what the hell WAR is. I'm just going to Google it really quick. I don't want to not know every single time. WAR PFF meaning. Player valuation is one of the most important problems in all team sports, blah, blah, blah. What does WAR mean in football stats? Wins above replacement is a player value metric, an attempt to translate a player's total contribution on the field into a single number while allowing for comparison across positions, leagues, and eras. So it doesn't give me an example here, but I would imagine the higher the number, the better, because it's saying that your value is worth this many wins, and they make up a number, I guess. So 2023 value grade, I'll just call it the value grade. 18th, not bad. I'm on Daniel Hunter, sorry. 2023 PFF WAR 80th. Okay, that's about right. See how he was 72nd out of 82 and he was 80th. I would expect it to be pretty close. Let's look at Daniel Hunter's. 28th out of 112 and 18th. So even that one, they're only 10 apart. This one, they're only 8 apart. So basically, if you're the best linebacker, you're going to have a higher WAR because you were more valuable because you were the best. Makes sense. It's actually a little redundant. So, okay, the fit need for Willie Gay to sign with the Saints is a B+. A B+. Okay, so needed a linebacker, but there's more, I guess, urging positions to fill, but a B+. It's a good, B+ is good. Value grade A-. Now let's look at the value. The contract was a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million. What did PFF project? A 1-year, $3.75 million, $2.75 million total guarantees. So it actually ended up paying $1.25 more million than PFF projected, with a lot of mid-tier and or specific role linebackers doing well so far through the first day and a half of free agency. This is a good value for Willie Gay. New Orleans gets a solid third linebacker to pair with Demario Davis and Pete Werner. All right. Moving on, we got Defensive lineman Raekwon Davis signing with the Indianapolis Colts. His 2023 PFF grade was 57.5, so 79th out of 130. His PFF WAR was 190th, 0.03. Fit need B minus, value C plus, contract 2-year, 14 million, 7 million per year. And the projections were 2-year, 7.5 million, 3.75 million per year. So contract ended up being a little more than the projections. Lavonte David signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. PFF grade, this is a linebacker. He was 28th out of 72. That's pretty good. Trending in the top, I guess, half. 2023 WAR 16th. Fit need grade A plus. Value grade A plus. 1 million or 1 year 9 million was the contract. He was projected 1 year 5 million. To be clear on the projection here, we're reacting to David taking a super team friendly discount last year. His play warrants this contract and then some in this linebacker market. Even in his early 30s, David continues to be one of the more underrated players of this era. So Lavonte David is going to definitely bolster that Tampa Bay defense that's made probably the two most important moves already, with getting Mike Evans and keeping Baker Mayfield. And now they do this, and all of a sudden, a team that last year we thought was just going to run its course with Baker for 1 year and most likely address the quarterback need at the end was pleasantly surprised. And now the overall temperature of how we are viewing this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is different. It's like they're loading up. And it's going to be difficult because there's going to be some people that are like, nah, they're going to go back to, how they looked all last season, where they win 1, they lose 1, win 2, lose 1, lose 2, lose 3 in a row, win 2 in a row. It's very unpredictable. And then they got hot and won 3 games. But, the Giants also won a playoff game in Minnesota last year. Sorry to do this, Bill, but it doesn't always continue on to the next season. And that's what Dan Campbell was saying when he said, there's no guarantee that we get back here. It's going to be harder. So you're going to have your people that are like, Tampa Bay could go to the Super Bowl. And you're going to have your people that are like, they won't win their division. So Tampa is going to be a really fun one. And I'm going to be monitoring all of the little moves that they make, because Tampa seems to be one of those teams that I can tell already is going to be really difficult for me when it comes time for projections. All right, wide receiver Noah Brown signs with the Houston Texans. Keep in mind they have Nico Collins, and they also have the other guy. I'm blanking on his name. Demi Collins. I'm blanking on his name, but they have 2 really good. Tank Dell. Yeah, Tank Dell was one of them, and the other one is the other one. I can't remember now. I can't remember the first one, but you got it. So, and they also drafted, I believe in the 6th round, Hutchinson, my brother's buddy from high school, his little brother. His older brother's name's Quentin Hutchinson. I forget what his first name is, but I'm working on getting him actually on the podcast to interview. So anyway, in comes another wide receiver. So keep this in mind, because this would probably be a topic of discussion. If we do have him, that the wide receiver room just got a little bit bigger. So Noah Brown was 42nd out of 128th PFF grade, 73.0. So a wide receiver 3, that's a really good wide receiver 3. I mean, that's closer to a wide receiver 2. So 42nd out of 128 is pretty good for a guy that most people don't even know. He signed a 1-year, $4 million deal, $3 million in guarantees. He was projected a 2-year, $7 million deal. But we'll keep an eye on Houston. The Detroit Lions, they bring in Marcus Davenport, an edge rusher. In 2023, he had a 55.4 grade. He didn't even play enough to qualify to rank a certain number out of a certain number. He's not in that certain number because he didn't have the snap count. The fit need grade is an A. The value grade is a B. It was a 1-year, $6.5 million. PFF projected a 1-year, $5 million deal. And Davenport has all the talent in the world and can win with speed to power as an interior rusher with torque off the edge. He reunites with the coaching staff he spent extensive time with in New Orleans. He barely stepped on the field in 2023, which is what I was saying. That's why he doesn't have a PFF grade. So this is a solid 1-year filler. Totally agree. Now, this next one I'm super bummed out about, to be honest. It's just we keep losing Denver Broncos, and now it's Josey Jewell. Josey Jewell, I didn't expect Denver to re-sign him, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't suck. You know, let's just be real. It sucks seeing your whole team just change in front of your face, and in come these new guys that you have no emotional connection to. Are you gonna start crying? No, I'm not. But Josey Jewell, a 5-year Bronco, gone. But good for him because he signed a 3-year, $22.75 million deal, $10 million in total guarantees. So, yeah, I love that shit. Gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him. And I know Alex Singleton is gonna miss him too. They were a really good pair. He was projected a 2-year, $12.5 million deal. So he got a 3-year, $22 million deal. Fuck yeah. Good job, Josey Jewell. Josey Jewell is an all-around player who will love working behind a duo of Derek Brown and Ashwan Robinson. On early downs, he can also cover tight ends and backs over the middle and coverage fairly well. He's entering his age 30 season. Damn, we're getting that old already? Josey Jewell. Time flies, man. It's funny. It's like if you just draft a player and on his rookie contract, he does well enough where you exercise your 5th-year option. It's like, even if you don't even keep that player, it's like, it's still been half of a decade. You know, it's been 5 years. That's not a long time. So ideally, if your draft picks are even worth a lick, like you're going to at least spend half a decade with everybody. And it's funny because it's so rare that happens with trades and injuries and busts and all the different scenarios. It's almost like not the norm. But Josey Jewell was this kind of a player. We drafted, and then we secured him on a short-term deal. But you know, he's been with Denver probably like 6 years. So long, Josey Jewell. Thank you for everything. All right. Ashwan Robinson signs with the Carolina Panthers. That's going to be Josey Jewell working with Ashwan Robinson. Ashwan Robinson was 75th out of 130 linebackers last season. Where was Josey Jewell? 40th out of 82. That feels about right. That almost feels like perfect. So Josey Jewell, better linebacker, but Ashwan Robinson not too far behind. The value grade is an A minus. The fit and need grade is a B. You know, it was funny because Josey Jewell was traded first or signed first out of these two linebackers. And when Josey Jewell signed, the value grade was a B plus because they really needed a linebacker. But then later when they signed Ashwan Robinson, the value grade was an A minus. So I don't know, maybe Josie Jewell was picked after Ashawn Robinson. Because the fit need grade for Josie Jewell was an A, and then the fit need grade for Ashawn Robinson was an A minus. Yeah, am I saying his name right? Is it Ashawn? Is it Ashawn or Ashon? I don't know why I went with Ashon. But yeah, um, it's kind of weird because whatever. Honestly, if I keep forgetting, probably because the value is about the contract. That's what it is. The value is only about the contract. See, I got sidetracked. So that's why Josie Jewell's value was a B plus because he got a 3-year, $22 million deal. So I guess the value is through the lens of the team, not the lens of the player. So for Josie Jewell, it was probably an A plus value, but for the Panthers, they're saying B plus. Okay. Nacho. Oh, we had a guy that his last name was literally Ian Nacho. Ian Nacho. He was a defensive back. Ian Nacho. DB Broncos. Let's see if I can pull him up. Ian Nacho. Oh, God, I'll have to dig for him. Ian Nacho. Damn. Man, this was probably like 7 years ago. We called him Nacho as well. Okay. Keeson Nixon signs with the Green Bay Packers. 81st out of 127 corners. Not great. Fit need A plus. The value B plus. So the contract is a 3-year, $18 million deal, $6 million per year. And he was projected a 2-year, $8 million deal. So the Packers getting another corner. Nixon's going to address 2 spots for Green Bay, nickel cornerback and a weapon in the return game. After the Packers made the biggest splash of the offseason thus far in the secondary with the signing of Xavier McKinney, shout out to Bill, they retain one of their own who has carved out a key role. This is great. This is really good for the Packers to be able to retain some of the youth and try to keep this team together along with bringing in new weapons like Xavier McKinney. The direction of the Green Bay Packers seems really promising. I'm getting a lot of the same feelings from the Texans as I'm getting from Green Bay, maybe even a little bit Tampa. Not yet. Not as high on Tampa as I am on the Texans and Packers right now. But give it time. They could crawl their way up. I just need to see Baker week 1 play a good game, and I'll be like, all right, this is really happening. Kenny Moore signs with the Indianapolis Colts, cornerback. He was the 18th corner out of 127. So we're talking important right now. 18th out of 127. His WAR was 16th. So this is a really, really good player, at least if you're just judging off last year. Fit need grade was an A. The Colts needed a cornerback. The value was a B minus. He got a 3-year, $30 million contract. Okay, PFF projected a 2-year, $13.5 million. So they're saying, yeah, the Colts overpaid a little bit, but I think the Colts might have just thought that the value was there. Moore had been pushing for an early extension as far back as 2 years ago, and now he cashes in at the highest point after a career year in which he earned his best grades in several facets and made a ton of splash plays. He's a great player and a franchise legend. That's really, really bold. He's a franchise legend who may now play his entire career with one team. He never took a regular season snap with the New England Patriots, who signed him as an undrafted free agent. But he also just reset the market at nickel corner at 30 years old. Nevertheless, the Colts are probably plenty comfortable paying top dollar for a leader on and off the field. So I guess there was a lot about Kenny Moore that I didn't know. I didn't know he was undrafted. So he is now in a position where he signs a 3-year contract at the age of 30 and could end up playing every single snap in the NFL for the Colts. And I guess that might be why he is a franchise legend. Or maybe there's a couple plays that stand out that I'm not remembering. Bill says decent move for the Panthers that are getting decimated. Yeah, the Panthers are at least going to have a better defense. Maybe even the best linebackers that they've had since Luke Kuechly. Here we go. Gerald Everett signs with the Chicago Bears. All right. This was a perfect marriage here with Chicago in need of a tight end with the emerging inline stud of Cole Kmet. Everett, having played for new Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron with both the Rams and Seahawks. Everett is tough to bring down in space and always trusted by Justin Herbert on key downs. The Bears needed more pass catchers, and while they can still add to wideout, Everett is a good get, and I agree with all of that. This is really solid. You do have an emerging young player in Cole Kmet who is making his way into the top 10 conversation, and you don't want, with the lack of wide receivers, you don't want them to be able to just focus on Cole Kmet. You bring in Gerald Everett, who obviously, like it said here, the coach, Shane Waldron, as a Ram and a Seahawk coach, Gerald Everett. So he gets his guy back. The chemistry is going to be there. This has got to be an A+ fit, and it is ranked as A+ fit need grade. Values an A+. It's a 2-year, $12 million deal. He was projected to get a 1-year, $5.5 million deal, so double that and then some. I think that's a good move for everybody involved. Oh, linebacker Patrick Queen signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patrick Queen was the 24th out of 82 linebackers last season. 24th out of 82. 21st WAR grade. We called our shot on Queen becoming the next Tremaine Edmonds type signing, a 4th-year breakout of sorts. You know who else did this? Not just Tremaine Edmonds, but he just signed with another team on a 1-year contract. Oh, no. What's his name? Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett. We drafted Shaq Barrett, and at the 5th, it was like, I think his 5th season, we exercised the 5th-year option, but then it was time to pay him, and Tampa gave him like a $70-80 million contract. And we were like, oh, God, they overpaid. They overpaid. The next season, Shaq Barrett led the NFL in sacks. So that would even be another great comparison, because sometimes people break out their 4th year and then the teams have to try to gamble on whether that was a fluke, a 1-season wonder, if you will, or if you can invest in to the future of that player. It's a tricky game. It's a tricky game, and sometimes you're right, and other times players do just have one miraculous season and then don't do it again. Remember David Johnson? That dude was the best running back in the league for like a year and a half and then just disappeared. Okay, so Patrick Queen signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 3-year, $41 million deal. Value is an A+. He was projected a 4-year contract. He ends up getting a 3-year contract, but this is awesome for the Steelers. The Steelers are really kind of moving the needle here with getting a team together that the fans can really believe in. And this is in the aftermath of Deontay Johnson getting traded to the Carolina Panthers, which I was mentioning. I haven't mentioned it here, but I was mentioning it earlier today, and that trade I think is going to be really good for Deontay Johnson. And I was saying this, sometimes players, and I know this as a kid in school, that was often I was often in positions where I found myself acting up or being the class clown and things like that. And as an adult, I go back and I think about it, and I was like, man, it's like I wanted to be a leader, but I didn't have the outlets to do it. So I found my own way to do it by being just bad. And I think sometimes, like, you see the stuff going on with Jerry Judy and with his girlfriend and her calling the police on him and this kind of drama coming outside the building, and Deontay Johnson. I don't know the ins and outs of everything, but I know, when he unfollowed him on Twitter and Mike Tomlin made the thorn in my heel comment. Um, After all of that, I really came to the conclusion that, for Jerry Judy and Deontay Johnson, this might be a huge blessing. Like, for Jerry Judy, he gets to work with Amari Cooper, who is his number one receiver in the top 100. He voted him the number one receiver in the league. And he was a huge reason that he even chose to play at Alabama. So now Amari Cooper, if anybody could speak just guidance into Jerry Judy's life, like, Amari Cooper is that guy. And now you got Carolina with Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson was at George Pickens. Was he mad at the offensive coordinator? Was he tired of playing in Pittsburgh? I don't know. But what I do know is that he immediately becomes the wide receiver number one for a Panthers team that needed to throw Bryce Young a bone, because Bryce Young, they brought him in and got rid of DJ Moore. But of course, if you don't get rid of DJ Moore, there is no Bryce Young. So you had to do it. But now it's about making it right for him and putting him in position to succeed. And the question is going to be, can Deontay Johnson rise to the occasion? And I think he might. I think we might be a little surprised. Sometimes in the Navy, we used to do this too. You get a sailor that's, just acting up. Um, you can tell that they're you're not getting the most out of them. And that's your job in leadership roles, is to be able to look at people and say, I'm not getting the most out of them. Not like I'm not using them the most, but I'm not challenging them enough. Um, they need to be challenged more. And then you take them and you say, you're going to be the leader of all of the upgraders, and you will report to me. And I'm not going to, even if I need to get a hold of them, I'll come to you. Like, you promote people that don't necessarily meet all the criteria for what you would think would be promotable. It's kind of, it's a little bit reverse psychology, but it's all in good. It's not bad. I think it's good for everybody. So I think Deontay Johnson going into Carolina, he is now the guy. Adam Thielen might be there, but they're probably going to give him a whole speech like, this is your team now, that you are the guy for us. And I'm excited. I'm excited for him and Jerry Judy. I think that they're gonna prove a lot of people wrong, and they're gonna get even better. And maybe Jerry Judy can finally get to the potential that we saw in him when we drafted him 15th overall. Eric Robertson signs with the Detroit Lions, a cornerback. 65 out of 127, fit grade A minus, value grade A minus, contract 2-year, $9.25 million. Here's a big one. Derrick Henry signs with the Baltimore Ravens. I was really mad about this one. His 2023 PFF grade was a 90.2, and a lot of people like to point out that Derrick Henry has regressed in the last 3 seasons, and that he's slipping away. Okay, I get all that, but you know what? If you're taking a small step down 3 years in a row, my question is, where are we stepping from? Are you talking about Derrick Henry rushing for over 2,000 yards? Okay, so he only ran for 1,800, and then he ran for 17, and then he ran for 16. You still have a guy that, and here you go, third out of 59 running backs in the league. He was number 3. So I know me and Rick disagree about Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry is still playing at a very, very high level. And he is going to complement Lamar Jackson in a really, really good way because they have the ground and pound, and then they have the elusive speed of Lamar Jackson. This is a very good fit. And for Baltimore, they should be super stoked about this. I'm sure the jerseys are going to sell out immediately. This is great for Derrick Henry, who only has to, drive a little bit north to get to Maryland, not far away at all. The fit need grade is ranked at a A plus plus plus. I didn't even know they were allowed to do that. The value is an A as well. Derrick Henry ended up signing a 2-year, $16 million deal, $9 million fully guaranteed. PFF projected the contract to be a 2-year, $18 million deal. So the Ravens finally get their man with Henry, a target in last year's trade deadline as Baltimore geared up for a deep playoff run. Do you remember that? The Ravens did reach out to inquire about getting Derrick Henry on their team for the playoffs. The duo of Henry and Lamar Jackson in the backfield is going to be an absolute nightmare for opposing defenses, and we can't wait to see it in action. Now, if the Titans would have traded Derrick Henry away in the middle of last season, Tennessee fans would have said that you were doing Derrick Henry dirty. He's done too much for the organization to make him clean out his locker in the middle of the season. And perhaps I agree with that. But here's the other thing. If you wait until now, you get nothing. So if you care about the Tennessee Titans, you would say, well, we might as well trade him while we get something. Same thing we did with Von Miller. He was at the end of his year. He had 1 year left. So we traded him to the Rams, who were trying to make a playoff push, and we got a 3rd and a 2nd round draft pick for him. What did Tennessee get for Derrick Henry? Nothing. But you know what? I go back and forth on sometimes I care about a player more than I care about getting something. Von Miller and Derrick Henry are 2 of those players. So I would love to, figure out how Tennessee fans are feeling about this breakup with Derrick Henry and just the state of the franchise. And I'm sure for everybody involved, it just feels like it's time to move forward. Like the Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry era is of the old. Bring in Joe Mixon, bring in this different philosophy. It's a new era, and Derrick Henry, unfortunately, is part of the old. But for the Ravens and for Derrick Henry, he should be really excited that he's not a Titan anymore because he's going to a team that has legitimate reason to believe they will win the Super Bowl. A very good reason to believe that. Okay. Darnell Mooney signing with the Atlanta Falcons. Darnell Mooney last year was 107th out of 158. It's an A plus fit need, valued at an A minus. It's a 3-year, $39 million deal. So this is a sneaky move right here. This is a really sneaky move because you got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and then you add Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, and now you bring in Darnell Mooney, and you have Kirk Cousins. I know Darnell Mooney, 107 out of 158, but Chicago did not get the most out of Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney is very Jerry Jeudy-esque. Look at the highlights. Darnell Mooney, when he's not dropping passes and he's being consistent, he can do all you need your wide receiver 3 to do. This is a wide receiver 3, maybe 2, but Atlanta is just in really great shape right now. This is a 3-year, $39 million deal. He was projected to get a 1-year, $9 million deal. So Atlanta feeling a lot stronger than, I guess, the overall feeling of Darnell Mooney, which I can totally understand from having watched Darnell Mooney play. Mooney avoids the 1-year flyer after a down 2023 season, and he gets paid a contract that reflects an understanding that his lack of production in recent years wasn't entirely his fault. I didn't read this first, but this is kind of what I was saying. With the Bears ranking 32nd in passing yards over his rookie contract, Mooney still separated consistently on film. That's what Jerry Jeudy does well. And now he immediately steps in as a number 2 option at wide receiver opposite of Drake London, winning in different ways than him and tight end Kyle Pitts. The only reason I said wide receiver 3 is because I know Kyle Pitts gets wide receiver 1 type targets. But whatever. I guess, yeah, he's technically a wide receiver 2, and Kyle Pitts is just a tight end. A reunion with former Bears general manager Ryan Pace, the man who drafted Mooney. How often do we see this? All the time, right? Guy comes to a team and then goes and back and gets the guy that he drafted, like the Lions did with Jared Goff. Aaron Jones is a Minnesota Viking, and I know this one hurt a lot of people. It actually hurt me. I didn't like. I mean, the Vikings. I mean, not the Bears. Like, Aaron Jones was ranked 10th out of 59 last season, 59 qualified running backs. The fit need grade was an A. The value was an A minus. The contract is a 1-year, $6 million deal. Minnesota went the cheap route at running back last year with Alexander Mattison and recent draft picks. And while they were proven to be very sharp by moving on from Dalvin Cook, their run game was still a major issue. Jones needs to be a member of committee to stay fresh, efficient, and explosive. But he is all those things when healthy. It's kind of weird how, like, the entire AFC North just changed running backs. Dalvin Cook left, and then Swift goes from the Lions to the Bears. And then the Bears send their running back to the Lions. And then the Packers send their running back to the Vikings. What? Bill said, I had sympathy for all the Packer fans on Jones going to the Vikings, as it just happened to me yesterday. Wow. Yeah. Same position, too. That's crazy. So, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting couple games, and I wouldn't have thought he would have gone to the Vikings, but you know what? I would be that kind of a player. If somebody got rid of me, I would want to play for my rival. I just would. So and it makes for a really good football game. So Sam Darnold, Minnesota Viking. Darnold reunites with former teammate Josh McCown, who is now the quarterback coach for Minnesota Vikings under Kevin O'Connell. Minnesota obviously needs a bridge quarterback, and this could be the 2024 version of the Baker Mayfield experience in Tampa. But with so many options available, they just had to give Darnold a greater than 100% raise over 2023. That said, there were legitimate flashes at the end of the 2022 season in Carolina for Darnold, and we know that teams still believe in the former number 3 overall pick. At the end of the day, with Kirk Cousins off to Atlanta, Minnesota had to make a fairly sizable move with their first-round draft pick coming in at number 11 overall, and player agents were well aware of that reality. We now wait to see if they add a rookie at number 11 or trade up with a roster that looks vastly improved on defense after day one. Yeah. And keep in mind, there's always going to be teams that are looking towards the draft next year. Nobody admits it, but it's true. I'm wondering if Sean Payton's doing that right now. Kenneth Murray linebacker signs with the Titans. We had John Simpson signing with the Jets. John Simpson is a guard. He ranked 49th out of 79 guards. A minus fit need grade. Value grade was an A minus. It's a 2-year, $12 million deal. And you know what? This is the kind of shit you really want to see if you're a Jets fan, because everybody said the weirdest thing that I called last season that I wish I didn't call last season was when I was watching Hard Knocks and I saw Saleh come into the locker room after a scrimmage. I think it was with the Titans, or no, it was with the Panthers, I think. And he was screaming, "It doesn't matter if we have this quarterback if he's on his ass the entire game." And I came on the next day and I was like, Aaron Rodgers is going to get hurt with this offensive line. Well, that became a reality. Nobody thought it was going to happen on the third play or whatever it was, but the Jets need to bolster their offensive line. That needs to be a priority for them, and these are the moves that are heading in the right direction. All right? You at least get yourself a freaking group of people to compete against each other and bring in people that are going to replace some of the worse off players. Simpson will be the puller in the run game quite often. A big mauler in tight spaces who will clear some gaping holes for Breece Hall on occasion. He comes in as a cheaper replacement for the recently released Laken Tomlinson, who is not playing up to the level of his contract he signed in 2022. No shit. Damian Lewis signs with the Carolina Panthers, a guard that ranked 37th out of 79 guards last season. Jacoby Brissett signs with the New England Patriots. That is an interesting one, right? Jordan Hicks signs with the Cleveland Browns. Leonard Williams. This is one worth looking at. Leonard Williams finished 22nd out of 130 defensive linemen. The fit need grade was an A. The value grade is a B. Williams uses the added leverage of a trade to sign a very strong extension for the second time in his career, earning the slight raise over the 3-year, $63 million deal he signed with the Giants before they traded him to Seattle at last year's deadline. Williams was arguably the best Seahawks defender over the second half of the 2023 season. So this wasn't just about that. It was earned. So this is an ex-Giant, and it's a 3-year, $64.5 million deal, $21.5 million per year. PFF projected a 3-year, $51 million deal, so he actually cashed in on a little bit more money. Bill said Big Cat Williams is good, and Seattle did well to keep him. Yeah, no, I even knew his name, and I don't know every defensive lineman, so the ones I know are usually for a reason. Houston Texans added a linebacker, Azeez Al-Shahar. He reunites with Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans, who coached him when he was with the 49ers before his departure. Al-Shahar adds a what does that say? Tenacity and run defense that benefits any team. And he still played every down at full speed despite bumping his way in his, despite bumping his play time way up over 1,100 snaps. Okay. Sorry, I have to have the screen so little to fit everything on one screen. Okay, Jordan Brooks, linebacker, signs with the Dolphins. Austin Eckler signs with the Commanders. Austin Eckler was 55 out of 59 running backs, but he didn't play very much. That's why. Brian Burns to the Giants. That was Brian Burns was the 37th edge rusher out of 112. Pretty good. 34th in WAR. The fit need grade is an A++. This is only the second time I've seen multiple pluses. The other one was with Saquon Barkley, or not Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. The value grade is a B. 5 years, $141 million. The most favorable way to look at this deal is that the Giants effectively used the draft capital they acquired for interior defender Leonard Williams to land a younger player looking for a second contract instead of a third contract. Burns addresses arguably the biggest need on the Giants roster and should have a lot less attention on him all the time now playing alongside Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau. He's only 25 years old, and yeah, that's awesome. We haven't signed anybody besides Will Lutz, our kicker, and some other people that nobody knows. It's just like, gosh, man, I want to I want to get fun new things. Noah Fant signs with the Seattle Seahawks. Noah Fant was the 30th ranked tight end out of 79 tight ends. And Fant, I'm a huge fan. Of course, we drafted Fant. He's a former not overall, but first round selection. And he's the real deal. I mean, he's really, really good. He's fast. He's got hands. He's not that great at run blocking. I'm not sure if he got better because I didn't really watch him last season, but Noah Fant is definitely a weapon, and I think he might just be a late bloomer, and really his better days might still be ahead of him. Him and Drew Lock, I think both are hitting these kind of later growth spurts that are not uncommon for the NFL. Fant should take on an even larger role in Seattle's offense with the teams moving on from both Will Dissly and Colby Parkinson this offseason. And the abilities after the catch run display in 2023 when he was called upon, improved pass protection for Geno Smith should hopefully enable him to work through his progressions and find Fant more frequently moving forward. And that's about right. And hopefully his run blocking is better so he can get on the field. Lloyd Cushenberry. Lloyd Cushenberry signed with the Tennessee Titans, and this one sucked for us because Lloyd Cushenberry was the most improved player on the Denver Broncos roster last year. He was a center out of Louisville, and we drafted him, 4 years ago now? And 4 years ago, he was the number one center in the draft, but we didn't even draft him until the second round, I believe. He never really lived up to the potential, but last season he had a major growth spurt, and Sean Payton took a gamble on rolling the dice with Lloyd Cushenberry because every other player besides Garrett Bowles came in. He brought in Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers and decided to go ahead and see what Cushenberry could do, and he was one of the best centers in the NFL last season. I didn't think Denver was going to be able to keep him, but I thought if they were going to keep anybody, Lloyd Cushenberry made the most sense. The fit need grade is an A. The value is an A. It's a 4-year contract worth $50 million. He's very sturdy. It doesn't have the numbers here, but Lloyd Cushenberry has played like 98% of the snaps since he's been drafted. Tennessee desperately needed help across the offensive line, and center was a smart place to start with Aaron Brewer on the way out in free agency. Will Levis gets a veteran who can pass block as well as any center across the league, with the potential for continued growth as he works under offensive line coach Bill Callahan. Zadarius Smith, edge, signed with the Cleveland Browns. Zadarius Smith was the 16th edge out of 112. That's an A- value grade and an A fit need grade. Trying to see how many. Let me just see for shits and giggles. Oh my God, I could literally be here all freaking day. Okay, we'll do this team by team deal grades. Okay, Arizona Cardinals. They got Justin Jones. Sean, I'll just go to the Giants real quick. Okay, so here's the Giants. Brian Burns with the trade. The Giant. Okay, and then you have Jermaine El-Munar. The Giants land a swing tackle who also has experience at guard, and they have 2 tackles who have dealt with injuries in addition to question marks at guard. This was a perfect alignment of a team needing to fill a specific role. So, okay, and then here, Devin Singletary. The Saquon Barkley era has come to an end in New York, and the Giants brass turns to a familiar face in Singletary, who general manager Joe Schoen helped scout with the Buffalo Bills and Brian Daboll, coached as the offensive coordinator. Singletary was solid in Houston with a fairly sizable role, beating out Dameon Pierce for the starting job. And then, last but not least, they bring in guard John Runyon, and he is a guard, 47th out of 79. Fit need grade is an A. The value is a C. He signed a 3-year, $30 million deal, so $10 million a year. And let's see if there's anything that's breaking right now since we've started. Okay, current cap space. Ooh. Look at the Broncos. Wow, $46 million in cap space. After all the moves they made, and because they were one of the red teams, they were one of the worst off teams. The teams with the most cap space right now, the Commanders, Titans, Patriots, Bears, Texans, and the Broncos are right there. So, God, but we have the most. Oh, we have a shit ton of dead money. You know who else does, though? The Titans. They have $31 million in dead money. The Commanders also have 21 million in dead money. The Seahawks have 36 million in dead money. Denver only has 14. So, like, how do we have this terrible Russell Wilson situation? This is why I'll never understand the cap. I can never figure it out. I knew his name would kill you. Shane. Okay. Shane, we got like nothing and are gonna have to restructure AT and Dexy to make room. Look who spent the most money, and you'll see why. Uh-oh. Who spent the most money? Oh, is it the Chargers? The Chargers are $25.9 million in the hole. The Chiefs are $5 million in the hole. The Ravens are 180,000 in the hole. Damn. So yeah, they're gonna have to. Are they gonna move on from Kamara? No, they would have had to do it. They would have had to do it already. Okay, so Commanders have the most money. Titans, Patriots, Bears, Texans, Broncos, Cardinals, Seahawks, Eagles, Bengals, Colts, Lions, Packers, Vikings, Rams, Panthers, Raiders, Steelers, Jets, Falcons, Bucks, Giants. Giants just under $10 million. You got $9,083,000. And then you got your 49ers, Jags, Browns, Cowboys, Dolphins, Bills, Saints, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers. Love to see where are the Raiders. Okay, they're 24 million, 24.5 million. But I love the Chiefs and the Chargers being the very bottom two. That's good. Hopefully that'll help. Let me see if I can do this really quick. All right, let me share my screen. All right. So this is my screen. And as you can see, the Broncos are going to be my team. And rounds 1, 2, 3. Okay. Enter. Oh, let me just sign in really quick. All right, I'm in. All right, Broncos. And we'll do fast. Randomness. Let's turn the randomness up. Yeah. All right. Bears are on the clock. I'm just going to go through two rounds really quick. All right. So before I hit this to start the draft, there's something I want from the Bears, and his name is Justin Fields. What am I willing to give him? No, 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 no. How about that and that? How about damn, they're really making me sell the farm here. All right, a second, a third, a sixth. How about this? I'll give you a second and a sixth, and I will give you. Who can I give? What about Kareem Jackson, a veteran safety? All right, he doesn't want him. You know what? Forget it. Take the third. Accept it. Yes. All right. So starting the draft. Oh, see, I did a 2 and a 5 the first time I did it, but I turned the randomness up, and I think now it's all right. Start the draft. Caleb Williams is off the board. Wow. So, okay, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Brock Bowers. No way. That's not happening. Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison. Wow. So this changes my whole entire draft approach. Oh, shit. Fuck. Well, I guess Jaden Daniels. Ooh, I bet I could move back a little bit. You know, I could probably get a shit ton of value at this point. I am. Who wants it? The Jacksonville Jaguars? I know you don't want a quarterback. The Bengals, you don't want a quarterback either. Why are you guys bullshitting? You want to move up? I'll give you the 12th pick. You got to give me the 7th and the 48th overall pick. So I'm only moving back 5 spots. Ooh, is that going to be good enough? Oh, not accepted. All right, fine. I'll throw you a bullshit. I'll throw you a bullshit one. There we go. Woo! It paid off. It paid off because guess who didn't come off the board? Jaden Daniels. So I still get the guy I wanted, and I didn't even have to give up anything. Grading my draft. It's the first round. Damn, I got an A plus. That's kind of bullshit. Why did it stop me? I'm glad I did this on a trial run before because I wanted to. No, that's me. I'm in here. Start draft. Oh, I got to hit 7 rounds. That's why. Okay. Shit. Now that I know I'm going to draft Jaden Daniels, I'm just going to ride this out and see how the board falls. Oh, it fell the same way. It fell the same way. Ooh. Jacksonville. Give me the 17th and the 48th, and I'll give you this bullshit one. Oh, of course. You get that one too. All right. Motherfucker. God damn it, the Raiders? Fuck. Man. All right. So this is the way I really do believe Denver's going to have to approach the draft. It's going to be tempting to try to make a big swing for one of the best players, but I think in reality, Denver's going to have to just move back and see what quarterback is gonna fall to them. So right here, I move back and I get JJ McCarthy, but now I get an opportunity right away. So if let's see, if I go here and put um, PFF best receivers in draft. All right. So the number one receiver in this year's draft is they're saying is Rome. Oh no, here it is. Number one, Marvin Harrison Jr. Then you got Malik Neighbors, and then Brian Thomason Jr. So Thomas is one of a handful of burners in this class who can really stretch the field. He's a part of LSU's offense and all of this stuff. He on the big board, he's at 21. So this is really good value for me to get JJ McCarthy and then turn around and draft Brian Thomas is very solid. And then just like that, I'm back on the clock again. So quarterback is already done. Wide receiver already done. Now, at this point, I'm going to see between corner, edge, and center where the best value is. So let's see if I just filter by all positions. Jordan Morgan is the best tackle available. Kamari, this is interesting right here. Jonathan Brooks, one of the best running backs, but if I got a running back, I would want, and I do want to get a running back, but I want to get Benson and Trey Benson right here. This is the guy that I want, so I'm going to hold off on running back, going after an edge here. We got ranked 55. Well, these are still halfbacks. Okay. So we got, I think I saw that guy at the combine. I think I'm going to go with the best corner on the board here. I think I got to go with the best corner. I'm going to do top DB in draft. Let me see what the big board is looking at. So I like to use NFLDraftBuzz.com. So okay, we got Nate Wiggins, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid, and then you got Tyler Nubin, and then 8th corner in the draft, Kamari Lassiter. Kamari Lassiter stands out as a notable premier cornerback prospect, showcasing a unique blend of physicality and instinctual play. I thought that he was who I thought he was, so I'm actually tempted on drafting this guy right now, but looking here, tight end, tackle, defensive line, like I'm going to see if it's possible to swap with the Bengals because they are not a threat to take my pick. All right, so let's see. 115 overall. How about this? I'll give you my 120 and you give me your 97. How about your 80? Okay. Then I'll give you my 136 and my 145. And a 7th round, or how about a 6th round next year? No, let's see. I guess here. I don't want to be greedy. Like, okay, we're swapping picks. You're not taking my guy, and I'm getting an extra pick for 115. Let me see. I'll just try to grab a 7th rounder, or I'm going to try to grab a 6th rounder next year. All right, let's make it a seventh rounder. All right. Jermaine Burton, wide receiver. Awesome. So now I got some extra shit. And let's just take a look real quick. Trey Benson's still here. I'm still in the top 40, top 50 picks right now. This is the running back, Blake Corum. This is the running back that everybody at the combine, there was nobody had buzz like they had buzz about Blake Corum. It was insane. Okay, so Blake Corum is another great option. I really do like Trey Benson. So I'm still going to draft the best corner available right now, which is Kamari Lassiter. He is going to be off the board very shortly if I don't do that now. Refill time. Hell yeah. So Bill, I moved back one spot and gained some stuff. Okay, so I got a corner, I got a quarterback, I have a wide receiver. I need to get the best center available in the draft because Lloyd Cushenberry is gone now. And with Lloyd Cushenberry being gone, I'm going to need to fill that need immediately. So looking at the offensive line, the top center is Jackson Powers out of Oregon. Is Jackson Powers available? Let me take this shit off real quick. There we go. I don't want quarterback. Okay. Patrick Paul is apparently the best offensive lineman available right now. Okay. Patrick Paul went to Houston. Patrick Paul has shown solid development at Houston, transitioning effectively from high school to college ball. His tape shows a tackle. His tape shows a tackle. Okay, Pat, he was a 3-star recruit from ESPN. As a sophomore in 2020, he saw action in 2 games. His junior year, he was involved in 14 games, and in 2022, during his senior year, he appeared in 12 games. In his 5th year, he played in 12 games. He improved his performance, allowing 6 quarterback hurries and 1 quarterback hit and no sacks at left tackle. All right. You know what? It's the highest graded guy. Let's see. Are you going to take him? Are you going to take him? Are you going to take him? Nobody has. Oh, the Seahawks. Let's see. 30, 83. And let's see. I'll give you you give me the 83rd. I'll give you the 76th. But you got to give me an extra. You got to give me 99, and I'll give you that bullshit one. 140. Let's try 147. How about 203? All right, 147. So I get an 83 and a 99 because right now, as it is, I'm picking at 76 and 115. So, I mean, you're looking at 35 picks between me picking again. By doing this, I almost have to wait about 35 picks from 49 to 83, but it's still a little bit better because then I pick again 16 spots after. And then I got that extra 6th round pick from Pittsburgh. I wonder if, no, I took a extra 7th round pick. So I wonder if I give them the 7th that I got from Cincinnati, if they'll give me a 6th. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. You got 2 though. How about this? I'll give you both. I'll give you both my 7. Yes. Yes. All right. I moved up to the 6th round next year. I'm really setting up my draft next year. All right. Who did they draft? Did they get my guy? Offensive tackle. They did. The next best available guy is not supposed to be picked till 101, so I'm not going to do that. Now seems like the right time for me to get that running back that I wanted. Right? Blake Corum. Hell yeah. I didn't think Blake Corum was going to slip that far down the draft. All right. Now, who was the player? I'm on the clock again. I love it. All right. So now let's see if Xavier Worthy's available. Xavier Worthy. I mean, anytime a guy breaks a record, we need to bring some hype into Denver. We need some excitement. All right. So let's see. Xavier Worthy, is he drafted? Xavier Worthy. Nothing? Xavier. Oh, he's drafted already? Frick. I wonder how high he went with the projections. Xavier Worthy. Mm. 64. Here he is. Guess where he went? The fucking Chiefs. How is Blake Dude, I don't know. I didn't question it. I just snagged him. But yeah, the Chiefs got him. So left tackle's not a center. Oh, well, I'm saying that we need a center because we lost Lloyd Cushenberry. But I didn't draft on. I must have been confused. All right, so let's see. Let's just go to all positions. Who's the best value right now? ADP 94.3. What is ADP again? Oh, like ADP. Sounds so familiar. Trends. Most drafted by Packers, Lions, and 49ers. Hey, it's not bad company right now. I'm going to get another wide receiver. Let's see. Malik Washington, Cornelius Johnson. Ooh, I'm doing it at some point. There's just not the value at the position right now. Tight end, running back. Let's see. Let's just go back to all. Cedric Van Pran. This is the highest value I can get. Cedric. Let's see. I thought he would. Yeah, he's the 18th highest graded offensive lineman, because the thing is on NFL Draft Buzz, it combines offensive guards, offensive tackles, and centers all into one category. So Cedric Van Pran is 18th out of all offensive linemen. This is a great replacement, great value. I'm glad I didn't let this one slip. And Bill said McCaney's still out there. McConney? McConney. Is that the wide receiver? Which one's McConney, Bill? McConney. All right. Center is still Cade Stover's available. Oh yeah. Hell yes. I can't let Cade Stover. So let's see. The Jaguars, they don't need a tight end. The Colts, would they do that? Would any of these teams do that? Technically, Lad McConkey. Oh, the wide receiver from Georgia. Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm not that great with college. I get into it towards this time of year. Let's see. Let's see if he's available still. Love it. Wow. The Raiders drafted Trey Benson. What a nightmare. Yeah, he must have just got picked. Damn, you were probably right. He was probably sliding down that board. All right. I think I got to go with Cade Stover. I'm gonna look at these notes real quick. So Cade Stover is projected as the, let's see. Is he that far? Brock Bowers is the best. Cade Stover is the third. Holy crap, I'm way too far down the draft board. Cade Stover presents a nice blend of toughness and explosiveness, making him a quality tight end prospect. Despite his relative inexperience, his transition from pass rusher to tight end, wow, so he's just an athlete. He transitioned from freaking, and he played linebacker and transitioned to defensive end, and then he flipped to tight end. So this dude just a ball player. I love it. Scouting report strengths: solid, well proportioned frame with good box out utility and length, explosive enough to get deep and manages to get a step on linebackers, agile, able to hurdle defenders in space, quick in stride adjustments, effective as a run catcher, reliable receiver with quick hand-eye coordination. I'm doing it. I'm drafting Cade Stover. I am the 115th pick. He was supposed to go around 109. I'm gonna take him. And honestly, if Cade is more of a blocking tight end, like that's something that we need. We Sean Payton loves a good running game. And just like that, I'm back on the clock because of all these awesome trades that we made. All right. Let's see. What's our best value right now? Cole Bishop. You know what? I'm gonna entertain it. I'll tell you why. Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons is gone. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can give you my share screen. All right, so going here. So I wanted to look at Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop. So let's go safety, defensive back. Nate Wiggins. All right, let's see. Where's Cole Bishop? These are a lot of corners too. It's like the offensive line, it's mixed. Here he is, Cole Bishop. All right. I mean, solid numbers. Cole Bishop was a 3-star recruit. And what, he worked his way up? Get out of here. Stupid. Go away. Get. All right, fuck it. Okay. So he has the fluid athleticism and speed to cover tight ends or maybe even some slot receivers. He has the ball skills to create turnovers. He has value as a blitzer. Change of direction ability. Do we Do we send it? 6'2". I like the height. Justin Simmons is 6'2", so I like the height and the length at the position. What's that arm length? 29. Okay. 29 and 3/4 inches. So wingspan is, oh no, this is his wingspan. 15%. Okay, so 73 inches. Wait a minute. What the? 73 inches? That's only 6 feet. So he actually has 2 inches shorter of a wingspan than his height, which is not what you want. I did mine at the combine, and I was comparable to a person that was 6'4", and I'm 5'11". So he's like the opposite of length. We don't want that. But you also don't want to sum up a person just because of one thing. Let's see, mock draft. All right. Moving back over to the mock draft. So Cole Bishop, he's the best value on the board right now. Jordan Travis, I love this draft pick. Jordan Travis is a really solid pickup too. Cornelius Johnson, Nelson Caesar, edge rusher. So Cole Bishop. I'm wondering, you know what, if you're not in love with anybody, let's see who wants. Jacksonville wants the next pick, which was 153, so I would lose 20 spots. I would give them 121, they would give me 153. But in return, what could I get next year? A 5th round? A 5th? How about 212 as well? And a 6 next year. No, that was too much of a jump. All right, I guess I'm not seeing the value in the trade. Not this time. I think it's better to just draft the best safety. But you know what? Let's see. 78.4. Justin Eboyagbe. I think I remember taking notes on this guy. And he's an edge rusher. Let's see where he ranks on the edge rushers. I love that edge is their own category. All right. Edge. All right. What's his name? Justin Eboyagbe. Justin. Here he is, Alabama. All right. So he's overall ranked at 150. What pick am I? I'm at 121. So, but then here it says 123, which is pretty close to where I'm at. Do any of these teams need? No, they don't. I already tried that. I'm gonna look at this guy's thing really quick. It says he was a 4-star recruit. His senior year, he played 13 games, 605 snaps for the Crimson Tide. He also added 28 tackles, 20 assists, 27 stops. As a pass rusher, he had 28 pressures, including 7 hurries, 4 QB hits. What's his athleticism looking like? Athletic for his size, with light feet and smooth movement, possesses a loose body to redirect momentum, bend, and play with leverage. Gets a good initial jump, usually aggressive and active, hard worker with toughness. Very instinctive. I'm feeling this pick for some reason. I'm gonna go with this one. I know it's a little high, but nobody wants to trade with me. I mean, the Bears, are they interested? Do you want I'll move back one spot. If you give me, let's see, a 2025 sixth, and I'll give you the extra 6, but you got to give me a 5th. There we go. Give you an extra 6, you give me a 5th, and we swap 1 pick. Okay. I'm getting a whole new round for 1 pick. Ah, no wonder. No wonder. All right. Well, the Bears wouldn't make sense then. I'll give you a 4th, and you give me a 3rd. No. No. Man, this is hard. I can't believe the teams have to make these type of decisions so quick. Okay. So the Bears are obviously interested in that, but what else do I get? A 6th-round pick? That only works if I'll give you here, I'll give you 203 and you give me a 4th. No, 5th. I'll give you 27. All right. This is about as close as I think we get. I'm swapping back 1. I'm getting rid of the 207th overall pick. In exchange, I'm getting a 5th-round pick in next year's draft. Because the Bears actually only have this 1 pick left. So, yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to think. What round are we in now? We're in round 4, and we've only had 121 picks. So round 5 is definitely a higher pick than 207. This is a good trade. Damn it. You know what? That was a good trade. All right, I'll give you 203. All right. They got a cornerback out of Boston College. Let's see. Here we are at 122. We got Cleveland up next. Let's see, Arizona wants to move up really bad. How bad? Will they give me 186? Is 186 more valuable than 122? Probably not. Can you give me, what would you give me next year? 4th? 5th? 5th, and I'll give you an extra 207. Damn, they're not budging. All right, so let's see who else. 123, would you move with me? How about you give me 123 and 127? I'll give you 122 and 136. That seems really fair. And then throw in next year's 6th. How about this? You throw in next year's 6, and I'll give you 207. Now let's just do, you give me those 2, I'll give you these 2, and then you throw in, damn, it's like no middle ground. Let's see. You know who I really want? I want that young wide receiver you got over there. Nico Collins. And I'll give you a 2nd. Ooh, is it worth a 2nd? Let's see. If I put my picks together, I'll give you 2 6, a 5th, and we'll swap these 2. Damn, they feel that high on Nico Collins? Damn. Oh, it's because I gotta. So basically a second, and then would you guys give me a fourth? What if I give you a third? It has to be a second. Bill, is Nico Collins worth a second round pick? He's only 24 years old. He's 24 years old. He's under contract. We don't have to worry about paying him. We'd immediately pair him with the wide receiver from LSU, and we would keep Cortland Sutton and have Marvin Mims. I'm like, but this low. Yeah, like a second round pick. That's all that they're willing to take. Let's see how they feel about Tank Dell. We'll see. 123, 127. I'll give you 122, 136. Let's just start with this. A third round pick. I like the third for Tank Dell. I like a third for Tank Dell maybe more than Nico Collins, and Tank Dell's also only 24 years old. I like this. I don't give it. What if I give you a fourth and a sixth? Fourth and a fifth? And 207. All right. I'll give you 145, and I'll move that. See, that would work. 207. And here, give me a seventh, and I'll no. So they're so willing to go and accept this trade that I know that I can get something more. So what is it? Can I get one more player? Could you throw in my buddy Hutchinson? Oh, I can only get one player at a time. Okay. So you're willing to do this trade for a third, but you'll give me a fifth. You'll give me a fourth? Oh, fuck. We're just going to swap third and fourth round picks next season. I'm moving back one spot, and now I get to pick at 36. Or now I would get to pick at 27. This is a killer deal. Is there anything else I can get on this? Seventh? You'll throw me a sixth? What about a fifth? Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm giving them a third next year, and they're giving me a fourth and a fifth and Tank Dell to go up one spot. 66% chance. Oh, damn. 66% chance, and it still got decline. All right. We'll take the fourth off. We'll take the fifth off, and it'll be a fourth and a sixth instead of a fourth and a fifth. Done. So I receive, or the Texans receive 122 and 136. I get 123 and 127. So that's really good. I did give them a third rounder next year, but they gave me a fourth and a sixth, which equates third round value. And I got Tank Dell. And I'm on the clock. And I'm going to get my edge rusher at 123 where he's projected to go. And I'm on the clock. All right. So we address wide receiver. Let's see. It would be nice to get another edge, Muhammad Kamara. Let's see what the best value is for any position. Safety, Cole Bishop. And can I look at the people that I've drafted? No. Cole Bishop, 115. I think I got to go with this value here. Cole Bishop. Contract wise, they're the same actual age. Okay, so they both have like similar time left on their contract. Yeah, I think Tank Dell is a good replacement. All right, now let's see. I addressed tight end. The best wide receiver available is a 148. I wouldn't mind getting a left tackle, but I was gonna get it next year and not sign Garrett Bowles. And I would rather use my first round pick on it if, of course, all my draft picks, my quarterback draft pick works out. Okay, so all positions, the highest available right now is some LSU dogs. Defensive lineman Mason Smith. Let's see. Pass rush grade 73.3. Run defense is 75. True pass set pass rush grade 77.4. This is worth noting. Some of the worst schools he didn't do very well at, but some of the bigger schools like Florida State was undefeated last year until they lost their quarterback. So he had his best games against his really good teams, which is actually really awesome because a lot of times it's the opposite, the best games against the worst team. So I like that. It's just Makai Wingo. Makai Wingo. Makai Wingo. Ooh. He's got a pretty good portfolio. The one on NFL.com, St. Louis, Missouri, hometown. Wingo is a shade undersized, but his tape is fun to watch. He's compact and powerful with the ability to separate and play off lateral blocks quickly. He can be overcome by length and mass at times, but is rarely dominated. He has the first step quickness and processing to beat blockers, to erase their landmarks, and tremendously agile as a short space tackler. I'm gonna send it. Makai Wingo. Hey, Makai, you want to be a Denver Bronco? And yes, Bill, I do need a kicker, and I was going to get the kicker. Well, we just re-signed Will Lutz, but I wanted to draft the kicker out of Alabama, Richard. I know the stats are pretty similar with these guys. Let's see. I got the 207th pick, and I do like that my picks are kind of close together. Let's see. I'll give you the 207th. So you give me 211 and 215, and then I'll throw in a. Here, I'll give you. This is my last pick, and so I need a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So I would swap fourth round picks with the 49ers, which the reason I want to do that is because the Niners are going to be good next year. So yeah, the pick might not be worth as much as our fourth round pick, but then I can add on a sixth and a seventh. Something just doesn't feel right. Who's next? The Bengals, Texans. Who's going to be a shitty team next year? I want to cash in on some picks. The Tennessee Titans. That's who I'm going to trade with. Here, I'll move back 20 spots or whatever. And in turn, I'll give you one of my 4th rounders that I acquired today. And you give me your 4th rounder. There we go. Tennessee Titans. And they're not going to be doing too well next year. Let's see. Would you do a 3rd? No, it has to be a 4th exchange. What about a 4th and a 6th for a 4th and a 5th? Ooh, you like that. You like that. And then throw in the 227 for me. Yes! That only had a 48% chance, I think. All right. Now I'm on the clock, and I'm going to grab my kicker. Round 7. Best kicker in the draft. Can't complain about that. All right. And, you know what? Let's throw in another center. Let's just, get the competition, get the room going. I love a center out of Wisconsin. All right. Returner. I'm going special teams here. Oh no, our returner led the NFL. He was a rookie, Marvin Mims, out of Oklahoma, and he made it to the Pro Bowl only for a returner, not as a wide receiver. So, no, we got one of the best returners in the game right now. Okay, so the draft started off with me having the 17th or the 12th overall pick. I moved back 5 spots, and I gained a 2nd round pick. Then when I was on the clock at 17, I moved back. I traded with the Carolina Panthers. I received the 2nd round 33 overall pick and a 39 overall pick. When I was on the clock at 33, I drafted JJ McCarthy. That was an A+. Then I was on the clock 6 picks later, and I drafted Brian Thomas Jr., A+ as well. Then I traded again. I was at 48, and I moved back 1 spot, picked up a 4th rounder and a 7th next year. And when I moved back that 1 spot, I still drafted who I wanted, Kamari Lassiter. Then, boom, trade again. I'm on the clock at 50 or at 76 overall, and I traded it to move back to 83. I gave him also a 5th and 2 7ths, and they gave me a 6th next year and an extra 3rd round pick that I used to draft our center and his teammate, Cedric Van Pran. Next, I was on the clock at 83, which is what I received from the Rams, and with that pick, I drafted Blake Corum, who they gave me a C, which is my worst grade. I don't really know why. I thought that this was really great value. I still like Trey Benson, but being in Indianapolis and seeing kind of the hype around Blake Corum and how much fans were like, "Oh, watch out for this guy," it got in my head a little bit, especially with the combination of that and the fact that he was the top running back available. Went into my decision to go with Blake Corum over Trey Benson. But then just 16 picks later, I drafted Cedric Van Pran. And then 115 overall, I get Cade Stover, a solid tight end out of Ohio State that can do a lot of what Sean wants him to do in the running game while still maintaining the explosiveness and the speed to get behind the linebackers if necessary. Then at pick 121, I traded it for 122. I moved back 1 spot. I gave the Bears a 6th rounder. They gave me a 5th. And when I moved back 1 spot, I drafted the guy I wanted, Justin Obiogbi. And I got an A- for that. Then, perhaps the biggest trade of the draft. I was on the clock at pick 1 I was on the clock at 122. This is out of order. I was on the clock at 122. I traded back one spot. I went back one spot from 122. I moved back to 123. I also gave them a fifth and a third rounder. Okay. They gave me the 123, the 127. So I moved up 9 spots. And then a 4th round pick next year and a 6th and Tank Dell. So pretty solid haul. I don't know why I don't get a grade for it, but then I drafted Cole Bishop, which is a B+. Then Mikayo Wingo, which was a B-. I got a C last time I drafted Will Reichard out of Alabama. I'm not sure if it's just a kicker thing. And then I did one last trade here where I was able to get rid of a 4th and a 6th and make it a 4th and a 5th. And I did it with a team that I don't think is going to be great next season. I did have to give 2 7th-round picks away, leaving me with only one last pick, the 227th pick in the draft. And with that, I got the competition for the center position, Tanner Botanali, out of the University of Wisconsin. Jump around. Jump, jump. So overall, let's see. Do I get an overall grade on this draft? Overall draft grade, I get an A. Overall, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 players in the draft. And I got 12 players in a draft where I only had 6 picks going in. So this is a very good situation for the Broncos. If they can do something like this, there will be buzz in the air, and it can be done. It can be done. It can be done. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys are watching this on a later date, let me know what you think in the comments below, because I wanted to kind of clip this whole thing and just post it, because a lot of people are really into these mock drafts, and mine's, I think I like my first one I did a little bit more. But in that one, Justin Fields was my quarterback, and not JJ McCarthy. But I'm also not mad at this at all. You could be getting the best quarterback. Who knows? I mean, people are really high on JJ McCarthy. And then you get a star wide receiver. So you got to imagine, like, you got Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, who's a Pro Bowler ready to step up into a larger role. Cortland Sutton, you could even trade Cortland Sutton, but I think they want to keep him. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Brian Thomason Jr., and Tank Dell. That's too many, right? So Cortland Sutton's the expensive one, unless he is willing to restructure or something. But I don't think you really have to get rid of anyone, because what if Marvin Mims doesn't rise to the occasion? Like, I mean, you want to have these weapons. What if one gets injured? I mean, Tim Patrick restructured. Tim Patrick, Brian Robinson, Cortland Sutton, Tank Dell, all on the field at the same time. JJ McCarthy's in great shape. And then Blake Corum to throw in the backfield with Javonte Williams, Cedric Van Pran to be the new plug-and-play center. Cade Stover, all of these players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, you got 8 of the 12 players that are going to be starters. I mean, I don't know if it's going to work out, but this guy's going to be starting week 1, starting. Or maybe not him, but starting right here. So this is a very practical draft, in my opinion, and it's one that gives me a lot of resources when resources are very limited, especially following the Russell Wilson trade. I will not be mad if Denver moves back and moves themselves out of the first round altogether, as long as something is done about the quarterback position. So this is just one Bronco fan to another. This is what I would like to see, something similar to this happening. I'm going to download this image and post it on X and let everybody know that they can come check this out. if they want to, because I had a lot of fun doing that. And thanks for doing it with me, Bill. Check out my mock draft. I'm going to tag you in it, Bill, since you were with me. And the Denver Broncos, of course. But yeah, I think we're not even a full month away. So I think we're not even a full month away. What's the date today? 13th. So yeah, about a month and a week away from the NFL draft. So it's about to kick off, man. It's about to get real. So I'm glad you enjoyed this. I'll probably end up doing like a couple more of these, but before we went into the PFF thing, hopefully I was able to get most of the PFF signings grades. Hopefully I was able to hit all the players that you were looking for. We went through all of these different players and looked at the different grades. I probably should have done it this way from the for the entirety of it. This was Derrick Henry right here. You see the A++++. The only other time you see that is with the Giants when they went after. Here it is. Nope, not that one. This one. Brian Burns. So Lloyd Cushenberry, here's the center that we lost today, signing with the Tennessee Titans. But oh wow, I see the little knob over here. I would have been here all day. I'm glad I pivoted there and went to a mock draft. But Hunter Henry with the Patriots. I didn't see this one. So Hunter Henry, wasn't he already with the Patriots? So he re-signed. He's only 24, or he'll turn 30 this year. Yeah, there'll definitely be more to come. And let me just make sure before I get out of here if there's any breaking news since I've started this, because that's just the kind of week it's been. And the Browns and Jameis Winston are finalizing a 1-year deal. Cleveland has its backup, Deshaun Watson, and it isn't the reigning AP NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Jameis Winston's finalizing a 1-year deal, and by that they mean it's not going to be Joe Flacco. So I guess that broke at 9:23. So yeah, big stuff happening around the league. As always, you guys can follow me at NFL with Kyle on the good old Twitter, and you can follow my partner in crime, Rick, at And Now Rick, and we have a podcast called The Only Football Podcast, and we do 2 episodes a week, and you can find me here almost every day at this point. I'm really starting to get the things together necessary to make this a show, including the intro video that I literally made before I went live today. I actually had to change my time because I was supposed to go live at 9:30, and I was like, I need an intro video. I can't just keep starting the video without anything. It's weird. So I got lost and made that. But yeah, it'll keep coming together. Channel will keep on growing, and hopefully the quality of it will get better. It's, just me over here. So, just one less mind than me and Rick together. But me and Rick are still going to be going live. Nothing's changing on our end. I'm just trying to do more on building my personal brand on the side. Who is Kyle outside of Only Football? That is what I'm trying to do a little bit. So Bill says not bringing Flacco back is a mistake. And yeah, I mean, he did really well, but I think Joe Flacco didn't want to come back. I think he was okay with going out like that. And if anything, Joe Flacco, it says the Browns made the final call, though. That's the way it's worded on Cleveland Browns websites. One league source said that the Winston signing could make sense because he's a great locker room guy. Browns called out for spurning Joe Flacco. The move to go with Winston over Flacco has been dubbed by many as a controversial one. The Browns and Flacco expressed mutual interest in a reunion after his successful 4-1 stint last season. So belay my last. I was wrong. I can tell you that all things equal, Cleveland is definitely the place that I would feel best about. Flacco said during his interview on Sirius XM on just March 6th, 7 days ago. They spoke to Flacco. Were they spooked by Flacco's interceptions at the end of the year? Well, they're signing the guy who has the highest interception rate among active quarterbacks in his career, Jameis Winston. It can't be that the interceptions, Grassi said on ESPN. Grassi? What the? Tom? Who wrote this? Okay. Oh my God, his name's Tony Grassi. That's true. Not many people would have got that. Rick isn't much of a. Oh my God, Bill, you have to see this. And then I'm done. All right, look at this. This guy, I'm reading this thing and it says Grassi. And I'm like, what? Is that Tom Grassi? And then I'm like, wait, who wrote this? So I'm looking, and then I find it right here at the bottom. Grassi said on ESPN. Who? Tony Grassi. Guys, there's a Tony Grassi out there. He's a Browns insider working for ESPN. His name's Tony Grassi. That's just really funny. And I thought you should know. I'm going to follow him on Twitter. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I say, guys, it was just Bill today, but that's awesome too. I'm sure other people will be listening later at another time, or maybe not for a couple months. I know how this goes in the very beginning, and most of the time, it's nothing wrong with your videos. It's just you need to make like 50 of them before the algorithm even suggests them to anybody, which I'm okay with that. That's why I'm trying to go live every day. I'm just trying to hit that, get through that stage here. So, Bill, thank you for watching in the meantime, of course. And I will see you guys. What is today? Tuesday. I will see you. Well, I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm probably going to be doing this every day, but me and Rick will be doing only football on Thursday. So I still don't have an ending video. Freaking Goomba Grassi is out in the world, and he isn't Irish. LOL. Glad I could keep you company. We're buds. Absolutely. Well, just pretend when I end this stream that there's some kind of ending video. There isn't going to be, but next time I go live, there will be. All right. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.